A train travelled along a track in 110 minutes, correct to the nearest 5 minutes. Jake finds out that the track is 270 kilometres long. He assumes that the track has been measured to the nearest 10 kilometres. Could the average speed of the train have been greater than 160 kilometres per hour? You must show how you get your answer. So speed is distance over time. Now I'm interested in, could it have been bigger than 160? So I'm interested in the upper bound here. Could the upper bound have been bigger than 160? If the upper bound is less than 160, then I can say that no, it couldn't have been greater than 160. If the upper bound is above 160, then it could possibly have been greater than 160, but we're not sure. Anyway, let's work out the upper bound of the speed and we'll see. So for that, I want to do the upper bound of the distance divided by the lower bound of the time. To get the biggest value possible for the speed, I want to do the biggest number divided by the smallest number. Right, let's work out what those numbers are. So for the distance, first of all, it was 270 kilometres measured to the nearest 10. So the level above that would be 280, the level below that would be 260. So the lower bound is 265, the upper bound is 275. The upper bound for my distance is 275 kilometres. Now for the time was measured to be 110 minutes to the nearest 5 minutes. So the level below that would be 105 minutes, the level above that would be 115 minutes. Which means the lower bound is 107.5, the upper bound is 112.5. So the lower bound for the time is 107.5. Let's now get our calculator out and type that in. So 275 divided by 107.5. And we get 2.5581 blah 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 blah, and that is in kilometres per minute, because we did the distance in kilometres divided by the time in minutes. So if it travels 2.58 kilometres every minute, it's going to travel 60 times as far in an hour. It's going to do that 60 times in 1 hour if it does it once every minute. So times our answer by 60. And we get 153.5 to 1 decimal place. Which, as we can see, is below 160. The upper bound is 153. The greatest the speed could possibly have been is 153 kilometres per hour. So we can now say that no, the average speed could not have been greater. The average speed could not have been greater than 160 kilometres per hour. Okay, part B of this question says, Jack's assumption was wrong. So the track was actually measured correct to the nearest 5 kilometres, not the nearest 10. That was the assumption he made, that it was measured to the nearest 10. And now we're told that that's actually wrong. could that have changed our answer? Well, let's go back and see how would that change. So if the track had been measured to the nearest 5, then our lower level here would actually have been 265, and our upper level would have been 275, which would have meant that our lower bound would have been 267.5, and our upper bound would have been 272.5. which then would have meant we would have done 272.5 divided by the same 107.5. So actually, having a smaller number on the top there would reduce the speed more. So if I'm now saying that the speed is lower, that doesn't change my answer here at all. So this reduces the upper bound for the distance so the upper bound for the speed also reduces. So the answer to A is unaffected.